Oh, hi! Ruff Ruffman here from Fetch with Ruff Ruffman, and you're watching a podcast where nostalgia comes alive. It's Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. Go Fetch! Oh, wait, no, I mean, roll it. Sorry, habit.
Welcome to Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, where nostalgia comes alive. Join Jake and his friends on a journey through pop culture of the past, where they interview professionals in the worlds of acting, directing, writing, puppeteering, and so much more. Who will they be chatting with today? Find out in this Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show episode.
Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, the podcast where nostalgia comes alive. Happy here with us. Thank you for joining. As always, I'm your host, Jake. Tough and Ball with me today. Of course, our co-host, Chris Bixby and Matt Bingo. How you guys?
Doing good. Hi, everyone. How are you, Jake?
Doing great, Matt. Thank you for asking. What do we have for today?
This one has been about a year and a half in the making. We are very delighted to have a voice actor on our show today. You know her as the voice of Dumbo in Dumbo Circus. It's one of the first Disney Channel series. She was also Sunni Gummi in The Adventures of the Gummi Bears, another first for Disney back in 1985. Also, Honker Muddlefoot in Darkwing Duck, among many others. But most of you will know her as the voice of Baby Rowlf on Muppet Babies, which I just now remember it celebrates its 40th anniversary this year. Mind-blowing.
Yes.
Premiered in 1984.
Congratulations to that.
Yes, this is the original, not the revival. Just want to make that clear. We are delighted to welcome our special guest, Katie Leigh. Hope you enjoy.
Yes.
Enjoy the chat, everyone.
Roll it.
See ya. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, the podcast where nostalgia comes alive.
Yes. Matt, tell us a little bit about the interview we have today.
This one, let me say, has been a long time coming. I will say we've been trying to schedule this for so long. We're really happy we're doing this. Our guest today is a voice actress. Most of you may know her from her Disney work, including The Adventures of the Gummi Bears, along with some of the stuff for the original My Little Pony. Among that, most of you may know her as the voice of Baby Rowlf in the original Muppet Babies, which, oddly enough, premiered 40 years ago this year, back in 1984. One of the most successful Saturday morning programs for CBS. That's Columbia Broadcasting.
Wow, I didn't realize
international viewers. It was just recently I remembered that too. We are so delighted to welcome Katie Leigh. Katie, welcome. We're so happy to have you here. How you doing?
Hello, gentlemen. Wow, 40 years ago, huh? Far out. That's cool.
How you doing?
That's
Happy to have you
wonderful.
here.
Yeah, we made it. It's
Yes,
like
we made
a
it.
year in the making or something.
Yeah, something like that.
a
Yeah.
year and a
Yeah.
half, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I switched
Or-
my camera so when I hold things up, they read properly, and now I'm like totally disoriented because if I turn my head this way, it goes the other way on my screen. So if I look a little confused, that's why.
No
worries
worries.
at all.
No worries.
Absolute pleasure to have you
worries.
here.
Where are
Yes,
you all
so-
located?
I'm
We're
in
on the East-
Yeah, we're all on the East Coast. I'm in Massachusetts, and then Jake and Matt are in different parts of Maryland.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. So to kick this off, even though I kind of introduced you a little bit, could you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, let's see. I was born in California. My hobbies are crocheting and cooking. Now I'm a voice actress. I've been working in Hollywood for over 40 years. I've done a lot of animation. I coach. I've directed animation. I also work on a radio program called Adventures in Odyssey, which has been on the air for 37 years now. Approximately. We just had a big celebration. We've done over 1,000 episodes. I'm not in all of them, so I can't take credit for that. What else can I wrote a couple books that I love to
nice.
share. What else? I did work on the Muppet Babies. I was in Disney's first Saturday morning cartoon series called Adventures of the Gummi Bears. I played Sunni Gummi. Currently, let's just skip ahead. I'm in some video games. If anyone plays Blade and Soul, or if anybody's heard of it, I don't know. That's I've done that for several years, and another one. Gonna do something Monday by Shadowverse. I don't know. Anyway, so I do that too. What else do I do? What have I done? Got in a lot of trouble. Put my foot in my mouth a few times. Let's see. Oh, so currently, I am the voice of Lily for Lily's Lab on Adventures TV. No, sorry, Answers.tv. Answers in Genesis has a streaming channel, so we talk about science. Lily's Lab. And I'm the voice of World Mind. If you go down to Disney World at the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, the Cosmic Rewind, I'm the voice in the queue. And I just finished a virtual reality thing called Truth Traveler that they're building in Pigeon Forge and eventually will be in Branson, Missouri too. And that's supposed to be pretty cool.
Nice.
Did I cover enough stuff? There's a lot. You can look me
Yeah.
up.
Exactly.
My
Yes.
life is an
absolutely.
open book. I have
Yes.
5 kids in a blended family and 2 grandkids. Yeah.
That's
And
wonderful.
I'm available for conventions. Send me out to wherever you want because I love to travel and meet people and meet my fans. I'll be going to the My Little Pony convention in San Antonio in November, which I'm looking forward to. And
Nice.
yeah, that's about it right now.
So now, what was your childhood like, and how did you grow up?
I ate my Cheerios. How'd I grow up? I grew up in California. I had 4 siblings, but I had my parents separated when I was like 3, so I had like 2 different families.
Hmm.
But grew up pretty, I was a good student who talked too much. And I grew up being a Girl Scout for 12 years. I did junior achievement. I was on the softball team, was on the basketball team for a little while, the swim team. I did all kinds I was a candy striper. I worked volunteered in nursing homes. And I learned how to be a key punch operator, which then became data entry, which now you don't even know about because everybody has their personal computers. But back then, you had to have people with skills to type information into computers, and I was one of them. Yeah,
Nice.
I went to 5 different elementary schools and 5 different colleges.
Nice, nice. So I'm kind of curious, did you always want to be a voice actor? Like, was that something you always wanted to pursue?
No, I didn't even know that it really existed as a career until I was in college. I think I always had a good ear and loved comedy and mimicked people just cause, and didn't know after I graduated high school people started commenting on my voice and telling me I had an unusual voice. And I did grow up in LA, so a lot of people work in the business here. And so I kind of got introduced to the concept. And I was living in San Francisco finally, my senior year of college, a little before that too. And I thought maybe I could do voiceover to make extra money. And I also had been taking some improv classes. So I just looked into it just to see if I could make some extra money. And Lucille Bliss, who is the voice of Smurfette, she lived in San Francisco and she was helping people make demos at the time. And I just looked in one of the trades, like I found out I needed to have one and went to her house, and she was teaching classes, but I never in fact took a class from her. We just wrote some scripts and went to the studio and made a demo, and I got some agents in the city. I got a job that landed me into the Screen Actors Guild, and then I was like, oh, well, path seems to be going this way. Graduated college and didn't know what I wanted to do exactly. I didn't think I wanted to move back to LA, but they said your voice is good for animation. That's where you should go. follow the yellow brick road to Los Angeles. And I thought, okay, let me just continue on this path. I'll give it 2 years. If I can't make a living, I'll do something else.
Awesome. So, now I'm kind of curious. Do you remember what your very first voiceover job was?
Yeah, there's two. Okay, I think the first one, and I don't even know if it aired. I had met a guy, one of my mentors, who I later ended up working with quite a lot. But when I was still in college, I met him through a connection, and he called me to come over to the studio to record a line for a AT&T commercial, I think.
Huh.
Okay.
It was or yeah, whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I think it was a telephone commercial. I think he gave me $50, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I do remember the line. I had to say, "But Channel 7 went out during 8 is enough, and I have to get it back before 3's company." So, so I don't. And then this other one before I really became full time or professional. Through my parents and my aunts and uncles, I met somebody else. Well, my stepmother knew Noel Blanc, who's Mel Blanc's son, and she
Oh,
worked at
yes.
the same hair salon where he got his hair done. And somehow she told him about me, and he said, "I'm doing a little industrial film for the Shriners hospitals, their burn institute."
Hmm.
He said, "I need
Okay.
a little girl's voice." And I might have talked to him on the phone, and he hired me to come over and scream because I was getting burned in the bathtub for this little girl. Yeah, it was awful. So that was the other job. And then I went to college, forgot about being voiceover really. It's like I didn't think of it as a full-time thing at all. But I went to school and studied broadcasting. So I have a degree in broadcasting.
Nice. Nice.
Awesome.
So now, as Matt mentioned in your intro, one of your best known voice acting roles is on the original Muppet Babies series as the voice of Baby Rowlf. How did that job come about? Like, I'm assuming, of course, an audition. Like, what was the kind of process like for getting on that show?
I was working on a show called Dungeons and Dragons, and I was one of the lead characters, Sheila.
Hmm.
And I have a little figure of her here in my booth.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
nice.
That's great.
That's Sheila. And our director, Hank Soroyan, was the director, story editor on the show. Anyway, one day I saw him at a restaurant, and he was eating lunch, and I said, "Hey, what's up?" And he said, "Oh, can you do baby Miss Piggy's voice, or like Baby Piggy?" And I said, I was a huge Muppet fan. I'm like, "Well, Piggy's done by a man." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Well, we're having auditions tomorrow for this new cartoon, Muppet Babies." Like, he didn't even think of having me in. There's only a few characters. He says, "I'm doing this show." I said, "Oh, really?" And I was like, in my head, I'm like, he said, "Oh, you know what? I didn't. You're not coming in, but I'll have you come in. I'll have you come for the callbacks, which is, after they've gone through some voices, they'll have them come back and read some more." And I'm like, "Oh no, you won't. I'm gonna be there tomorrow," because I was like such a hardcore Muppet fan. And I went to
As
the.
do we.
Yeah, are
Yeah.
you?
Oh
So I
yeah.
went to
Huge
the
Muppet
video
fan.
Oh,
store.
yes. So, Muppet's great.
Yeah, I went to the video store. I rented. The only movie they had was Muppets Take Manhattan, and I watched
Oh
it.
my gosh, such a great
Classic.
film.
Yeah, and I thought,
Yes.
what voice can I do? What voice? Because he said they were, doing Muppet voices, and he must have told me what characters. I don't remember. But I was watching, and I thought, oh, I could do Rolf. I knew I could. I just knew him. I remembered him from when I was probably 3 years old watching TV when Rolf was on the Jimmy Dean show. I mean, I knew this Muppet.
Oh,
Like, I don't know, it was just so internal.
Oh
So
my
I
gosh,
went in and I
Jim
said,
Jim did an amazing job, and
yeah,
with all these characters that he's done, including that you mentioned Wolf and kind of your introduction to the Muppets from Wolf, and then of course obviously Kermit and all those other things he's done. But previous guest, the amazing Bill Beretta, I think he's doing such an amazing job
yeah, Bill's
taking
great.
taking
He's
over.
very, yeah, really cool. So anyway,
Oh
I
yeah.
went to so I called my agent. I said, they're having auditions. That's what I did first. I go, they're having auditions tomorrow for the Muppet Babies, and I want to be there. I've never done that in my life. I've never been bossy with my agent. I'm usually really shy, but like this other personality took over, and I said, I have to be there tomorrow. So she got me a slot. And then I auditioned, and I said, Rolf, and I was trying to sound like Jim. I didn't realize, because of the nature of my voice, because you can't really hear yourself that well. I thought I sounded, big, but I guess I sounded like baby, Baby Rowlf. Anyway, I did it, and I don't know. A few weeks later, I get a phone call, and she goes, "Kermie." I don't know why she said that, but I knew she was talking about the Muppet. She says, "You got the part of Rolf," and I went in and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing." And Hank said, "You're one of the very few people who even knew who Rolf was." That
Wow.
funny?
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Interesting. So I know this was, and it's fine if you don't, because this was a long time ago, of course. But do you have any at all favorite like Muppet Babies episodes?
Oh yeah. My Valentine one is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Well, Rolf loses his
Right.
voice. No, that's not where he loses his voice. He goes off to record a song for Valentine's Day and sings this song that I post every Valentine. Now that we have YouTube and stuff, and you can find things that
Oh yeah.
couldn't find before, he sings this song, "You're Special to Me," to all other cast. Which was how I felt about everybody. Like sometimes I come into work and the writers would say, "Oh, we're so sorry. You only have a few lines." I'm like, I don't care. I get paid the same, and I get to be with all these great people and be part of the show. I don't care how many lines I have. And it was so special. That's like such a dream come true to be able to actually work on that and meet Jim Henson, and so I
Oh,
love
that's
that
wonderful.
episode. Yeah. There's another one where he plays, because I got to sing songs that,
Right, yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
I'm not really a singer, but a couple of the episodes where I loved the songs was Green Ranger.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Where
one.
he's Green Ranger, he's no stranger to danger. And we did lots of different musical genres. So we did that one. And then we had the other one about the Pied Piper.
Mm-hmm.
There were lots of little subplots in the script, but I remember Rolf got to, he was the Pied Piper in one of the stories, leading all the rats out of the city, I think, and he has this really hard rocking song, "Playing in the city, singing in the street. Hey, you little critters, get up and move your feet." So it's really fun.
Oh,
But
that's wonderful.
we sang in separate recording sessions for the songs, not when we did the shows.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, Muppet Babies is a wonderful show.
Absolutely. Now, you also lend your voice to Dumbo in the Disney series Dumbo Circus. What was that like?
That was pretty wonderful too. Everything. I'm so thankful. I have this. I went to audition for the role of the cat. They have a cat in the show named Lily, and I read for her. And after I finished, the producer said, could you try reading this?" and handed me Dumbo's sides, and I did, and I got the part, and that was amazing. Because most of the cast of Dumbo's Circus ended up being the cast of the radio show Adventures in Odyssey, which was, so it was really crazy. And we recorded 3 times a week, which was very unusual. We're very busy. I also got to sing there eventually because they knew I couldn't sing, so they would hardly ever write anything for Dumbo. And after a while, they gave me some things to sing like Dumbo. And I got to say at the end of every show, well, that's our show for today, boys and girls. I hope you liked it. And that was fun. Very fun show. Animatronics, that was all new. The puppetry that they used in the show. They had done Welcome to Pooh Corner first.
Right. Yeah.
And then Dumbo Circus, and I've been told I'm the only person who will ever voice Dumbo because after it all was said and done, Disney decided, a fellow at Disney who got the job of continuity said, Dumbo didn't talk in the movie. He shouldn't be talking here either.
Right.
And Dumbo
Yeah.
will never speak
Interesting.
again.
Uh,
I was lucky.
yes, definitely. So another voiceover job you're most known for was on Disney's Adventures of the Gummi Bears as the voice of Sunni Gummi.
Yep.
What was voicing her like?
That was fun too because that show I got to work with all the voices I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
All my idols. I went to work and there was Bill Scott and June Foray and Paul Winchell and Lorenzo Music. And these are people who were the voices of my childhood. Paul Winchell, I mean, I adored him. I watched his TV. He had a TV show when I was a kid. You guys probably have never heard of it, called the Winchell Mahoney Hour, but you can look it up.
Right.
Amazing
And then him being voice
ventriloquist.
of Tigger, and then
That
created
was before he was a voice before he did
Oh,
those.
yeah.
Even he had his was
that's
a
crazy.
ventriloquist.
Yeah,
and had
a
this
legend.
great-
And then
Great.
created artificial heart and all those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was really
Absolutely.
great. I loved him so much. And then eventually Rob Paulson came to work on the show.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
was my love
Right.
interest. Artie, I think his name was, or maybe that was his bird, Art Deco. I don't forget what his name was in the show. But yeah, that was amazing. And if I hadn't have done the other shows, I would have never gotten the chance to audition for the Gummi Bears because the people in charge had only done records for Disney. And then Eisner's kids went to camp and came back with Gummi Bears. And he thought, oh, this is a great idea for a show. And Gummi Bears, the candy, you know? And then he's told the record people, we're going to start doing Saturday morning cartoons. I want you guys to develop a cartoon. They'd never done that before. They didn't know. And they started watching some cartoons and saw my name in the credits of something else. So they brought me and other people they saw were working in for the auditions. And I was lucky, blessed enough to get that role too. I think we did that for 8 years, maybe. I don't know, a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sunni Gummi has like a whole like Funko Pop and all those.
Yeah, I have one
Yes.
too. Sunny has a Funko Pop, my only Funko Pop. I wish they did one for Dumbo, but they did Dumbo,
know.
but like from the
Yeah.
movie.
Please more.
Right, yeah.
More,
I wish
more
they
for
had
more for her
A
Funko Pop
Honker
company.
Muddlefoot Funko. I would love if they made Honker from
Yes.
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
I wish he was
Mm-hmm.
a Funko.
That'd
That
be
would
cool.
be cool.
Yeah. I do. Well, actually, on my shelf, I have some Funko Pops.
I don't
I
have
have-
very many.
I have the
Yeah,
versions
me too.
of-
I don't really have much. I mean, I'm really just kind of more into like plushes and.
Yeah, I have two I have two Funko Pops from Muppet Christmas Carol. One is Kermit and Robin, and one is Gonzo and Rizzo.
Oh, how fun. You know what? I was at
awesome.
Comic-Con in San Diego a couple weeks ago, and someone had made a Rizzo puppet. I saw got
Oh
to
wow!
look like he
Oh,
made it
wow.
his own Rizzo puppet. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Ah, nice.
That is
That's
amazing.
cool.
Wow.
Do you
That's
ever go
really
to
cool.
cons? Have you been?
Oh,
to
yeah.
I've never.
Jake and I were actually at one earlier this year. Actually,
Yeah,
we
together
were-
meeting up at GalaxyCon
Mhm.
Richmond, where
yeah,
for
super
the
fun.
con we went there earlier. It was the Blues Clues people were there. So
Yep. Josh
then,
Cruz, who's amazing.
yeah,
Angela Santamero and Tracy Pace Johnson, who kind of developed Blue's Clues.
Yeah, and Steve
wonderful.
Burns and Don Patton, who was the hosts of the original
And then-
series, Steve and Joe. And then last year, when I went to GalaxyCon again, last year it was Kevin Clash and Steve Whitmire that was there too. Such
Those
wonderful
are great
people.
guys, really great guys. I was lucky to go to Raleigh Studios when they were doing the new Muppet show, Muppets Tonight. I got
Oh
to
yeah,
watch
yeah.
that
Right, yeah,
yeah.
record.
nice.
Actually, I was
That's cool.
there the day Pierce Brosnan was blowing fire.
Oh
And they
yeah,
had
yeah.
all the
Oh,
fire department around. And because if those Muppets caught on fire, it would be very bad.
Mm-hmm.
He actually caught his lips on fire.
Oh
And
wow.
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
And I had
that's
my
not good.
daughter with me. Yeah, it was like, oh, but he recovered. I guess you have to put Vaseline on your lips, and I don't think he did enough of it or something. I don't know. It was, but yeah, so that happened. But that's one of those great stories I get to tell. You were talking about Gummi Bears and
Yeah.
I was talking about Darkwing. And Comic Cons. Yeah, I did GalaxyCon online. I think maybe during COVID or something. But
I do remember those. Like some friends of ours did those. We never did, but they looked like a ton of fun.
yeah, I would love to go. I'd love to go to Richmond. Put in a good word for me. This
We
is
will.
what I want to
Oh,
do
that'd
in
be
my
so
old
great.
Yeah,
age,
that
you
Galaxy
guys.
Very
make it
wonderful.
happen next year. And
Yeah.
it's Jake, you told me this. It's 4 days next year, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
yeah,
so they're
yeah,
extending it.
Yeah,
between
in
between
Richmond anyway.
March 27th. Yeah, 27th through the 30th.
Not a paid
March.
advertisement, people. Get that straight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not an
No.
official sponsor yet.
Not official sponsor, though we wish.
Yeah,
no,
yeah. Ask them. Tell them you want me. I'd love to meet you guys.
Yeah.
we will.
Be
Yes.
do a show together.
That'd
in
be
I
person.
love
Yes.
that.
That'd be
That would
awesome. That'd
Great.
be great.
There are a lot of Totally Spies fans I meet at the conventions now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Huh.
That seems to be and even, I'm surprised, but it seems that Yokai Watch has gotten some sort of, I don't know if you've heard of that show, but
No, I don't think I
interest.
have. No.
Yeah,
A little bit. Wasn't that on like Disney XD or something?
probably. Yeah,
Or
it
one
was
of
like,
those channels,
it's
yeah.
an anime.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm a little familiar with it. Yeah.
No, I'm not. To answer your question about the Funko Pops, I have 6 of them. I haven't collected in a few years. I have like the Fraggle Rock Funko Pops. They're upstairs, but I've had them for 6 years. I think I've had them, and there's only one I don't have the Fraggle one, and that's Sprocket. I don't have Sprocket. I need to get it.
Little one.
The Funko Pop of Sprocket.
Yeah.
Sprocket's like the big dog in the Fraggle Rock.
Oh, the dog. Does he have one?
Yeah, he has one. He has
Yeah.
one. It's the only one of the Fraggles I don't have. I think that was for Fraggle.
I only have
Rock's
one of them. I have Red.
35th
Oh,
anniversary.
nice.
Well, if I ever find one, I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know. That'd be awesome. So,
Yes.
moving on from all that, you also got to voice Fizzy and Baby Sundance for the My Little Pony franchise.
Yeah, for the movie.
For the movie.
That was for the movie, yeah. And then we did, like, almost simultaneously, we did the series, started the series.
Mm-hmm.
We did that for a couple of years, I guess.
Nice.
Lots of ponies. Tens of ponies. We all had to voice many, many ponies. Because they kept creating more ponies.
Right,
yeah.
because I've heard that I've heard that you got to voice a lot of other characters
Yeah.
for the
Oh,
franchise,
yeah,
except
yeah.
those two, like
I
the
think I was-
the Ribbon, Lickety Split, and Heartthrob, and probably some of the other
Yeah, I
baby
think I
ponies or
actually
something like that.
I feel bad. Somebody had me sign an autograph for Sundance, and I thought, oh, I'm Baby Sundance, but I was actually Sundance in the TV series and Baby Sundance. I had to look it up, and I felt so bad because they knew what they were talking about, and I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, and then yeah, when they did the Friendship is Magic show, the one that ran for many years, then they made even more, ponies for that show. So yeah,
Even
we'll
more.
just keep growing. basically. So
Right.
now you also got to voice, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, Honker Muddlefoot in Darkwing Duck. Can you talk a bit about voicing that character?
Yeah, there's a director, Ginny McSwain. She directed that show. And I went into audition and she said, just do that little boy voice you do. I'm like this, that thing. Yeah, that's it. Do that. So she kind of had an idea of what she wanted, and I was lucky enough to get to work on that show, and then Jim Cummings played my dad.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
Oh, that's
right, yep.
wonderful.
But
The
Jim
wonderful Jim
Cummings was
Cummings.
also in Dumbo's Circus. That was his very
That's
first
right.
series.
Yes.
Right.
Nice.
So yeah,
Yeah.
That's
so
wonderful.
he played Herb Muddlefoot. He played my dad, and I was his Darkwing's daughter's best friend. So that was cool.
Yeah, and you also worked with a previous guest of the show, Tad Stones, who created the show.
Todd Stones.
Tad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot we
That's
did
great.
that one.
Who and for those watching and listening who don't know about Tad Stones, he created and worked on a ton of shows for Disney for like
He's an
decades.
artist.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, it's funny because the voices and the art people don't really ever meet, except years later at conventions, because we just didn't have anything to do with each other. You know, that was
Right.
a whole separate thing.
Yeah.
Our recording sessions are 4 or 8 hours long, and one day, and that's it. And they're all somewhere over Disney drawing stuff. You know, so we didn't really get to meet people. We had our director, and that was it. Yeah. What is it?
Nice.
So you guys are really interested in cartoons?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
I mean, that's the reason why we kind of like, our show, I mean, always just kind of like, there were times we kind of go like deep dives and all that. So,
Well,
Yeah.
did you know I was the voice of the Maharaja in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom?
Oh no, we didn't know
I
that.
did not. Wow, that's cool.
Yes.
Oh.
Please listen. It's the tunnel on the left. Yes.
Nice.
I
Nice.
too have heard the rumors
Nice.
of the Thuggy cult. I can assure you it will never happen again in my kingdom. Yes, my kingdom.
Oh, it's wonderful. So now, speaking of Totally Spies, that I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, what was I getting to voicing Alex for the English dub of that series?
Yeah, well, it wasn't an English dub. We did the original tracks.
Ah,
Mm.
okay.
It wasn't dubbed. We recorded it all original animation. It was just the style, I think, made people think maybe it was a dub because it looked sort of anime, but it wasn't. It was done in English first.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
it was
totally.
great because that's
Gotcha.
where I met Jess Harnell, and it was fun to be a part of another cast with, 3 women being the, leads, which was really great. And I got to take out my aggressions every week and kick and punch things, which was fun. We had a different guest star every week. So I really, it was great. It was so different though. I didn't
I know.
understand it, because when we record things originally, we don't see it for like a year or 2, right?
Yeah.
We didn't used to. I don't think we had digital animation back then yet. So it took a while, then usually after you finish recording all the series, sometimes you'd have like a party where at the end where they'd show you what the show actually looked like. You get to see a little bit. But we never couldn't see the shows until they were animated.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you voiced various characters in the Mr. Men show as well. For our UK viewers, I want to make a note. This is not to be confused. It's the same franchise, but not to be confused with the original from the 70s and the revival in the 80s. This is an entirely different Mr. Men series, just to clear up the confusion, because I know people are like, oh, there were a bunch of them. Yes, there were, but this is specifically the one in the late 2000s.
Yes, that
just
aired
for
on
clarification.
Cartoon Network in the US.
Here in the US. Oh, the
Yeah.
other ones are not aired at all here.
So I was Little Miss Chatterbox, and Little Miss Helpful, and Little Miss Daredevil. And that we did originally in America, and then they dubbed it in the UK
Right.
after we recorded it. There's another show I did with the same writer called Poppycat, where they
Oh
recorded
yeah,
it.
that
They
show.
Oh
recorded
right,
that.
yeah, that
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah,
Poppycat.
yeah.
They recorded it
Puppycat's
in
a
Britain
wonderful show.
first, and then we dubbed it in American English.
Wow. Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. Yeah. That's cool.
That's right,
Yeah. Yeah. We grew
wow.
up watching it through PBS Kids Sprout, so that's kind of how we grew up watching
Yeah.
it. But what I remember, it's been a bit since the last time I watched the series itself, but I remember it was such a great show.
It was really funny. I always thought it was for a much older audience than they seemed to want to target because the jokes were just too funny. I thought they were old, like more junior high than elementary school. I was in England at the MCM Comic Con in May, and I met some of my UK voice actors who, shared shows with me. So it was kind of fun to meet them.
Oh, that's cool. Nice little full circle moment, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Yes.
so another show you worked on, this is kind of a deep cut because this is a rather short-lived show, I'd say. You worked on the show Animalia, where you voiced the
from
character
Australia.
Zoe. Yeah, what was that like?
That's a beautiful show. It was done for PBS. If anybody can see it, I highly recommend watching it. It's the most, I guess you can only compare it to the art they used when they did Gummi Bears, because Gummi Bears, they had wanted to make it more theatrical looking, but Animalia is just gorgeous. It's based on a book by Graham Bass. I think I auditioned for him, actually. I think he came to the States for the auditions. And he was the author of the book, and it's just an ABC book, but it was a very lovely show about libraries and learning. And I not only voiced Zoe, who was the lead girl, but I also was one of the alligators.
Oh, nice.
And the fox, a French fox. What's her name? Fuchsia, the fox.
Oh, nice.
Who was like secretary to the bad guy, the tiger. But it's beautiful. Really, if you can find it, watch it. You all out there. It's a neat show.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. I'm going back to Poppycat for briefly because I literally just did a little research, which you actually it's cool that you actually got to voice Zuzu for the US dub of that show. I actually remember that character a lot. So that's kind of a full circle moment. We have no idea.
Watch me skate. Watch me on my skateboard, Poppy. Yeah, it was fun.
That's great.
And remember,
That's
it's
wonderful.
not a dub. Ours was the original. They dubbed it. No, you're right. I did dub. Sorry, I was thinking of the show. You're right. Forgive me. Yes,
That's
I
okay.
did dub it. And you know what?
Nice.
That's really tricky because when you're dubbing your own, like we all speak English, but the inflections are different. So it's you have to be really careful when you're dubbing. When you hear how they say it to try to make it sound more American, you can't copy it's called prosody is the word, the music of the voice. Like in England, if I said, "Poppy, come watch me on my skateboard." Well, we don't talk like that. So I have to say, "Poppy, come watch me on my skateboard." Right? So you gotta kind of block out what you're hearing, so you don't, because we have a tendency, right, to imitate what we're hearing. So when you're dubbing, you see the picture and you hear it in your head. So I'd like to just listen to the rhythm and then maybe have the engineer make it real quiet or even take out the voice, and I'll just watch what we call the lip flaps and try to interpret it in the way I want to for the American audience.
Nice.
That's great.
Interesting. Very fascinating. So one of your later voiceover roles was voicing Athena in the Nickelodeon series Rainbow Butterfly Unicorn Kitty.
Yes.
Also kind of short-lived as well.
Very short-lived.
What was working on that like?
It was super fun because it's the quietest voice I ever did. She was a very quiet owl, and she'd talk like this most of the time. When she got scared, she'd go,
Oh, that's
and her
wonderful.
best friend band was this giant Yeti, very loud. Lila Burton's played my best friend, this big Yeti, and there's Athena.
Complete contrast.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Which is good.
It was super fun. Because that's one of the last shows I think we recorded all together in studio.
Right,
Yeah,
before
right.
before the
Before
pandemic
that
and everything.
happened,
Yeah.
Happened.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it was, I can imagine what it was like for for you guys, actually getting to record lines in a studio, and now it doesn't matter where in the world you are, you can just do it from home.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Pretty much kind of what happens with voiceover world now. It's ever since that happens, it's that you have to record for home. What change has been happening the last few years to
Oh,
being
yeah.
being like so comfortable being work each other in the studio now, just home. Like wow, what a change that is. And now, moving on from your television voiceover work, you also lend your voice to a variety of video games that Richie kind of mentioned a little bit earlier. Can you talk about some of your video game work?
Let me think. Well, I'll tell you something very cool. My first video game, I didn't even know what a video game was, and it was George Lucas's Grim Fandango.
Ooh.
Okay.
I've never seen it, but it is an amazing piece of art. And it's based on the Day of the Dead. And I couldn't see it because I didn't know how to play it. I think we all had, all my computer life, my family has had Macintosh computers. And back then, most of the games were for PCs. And there wasn't there wasn't such things as streaming either back then. So they redid it. They remastered it. So I have a few scenes in it, and one of the scenes I have Pam Adlon and I are these little
Oh, nice.
kids caught in like bird cages. I told you I do Blade and Soul. I play
Right.
Brother Hajun and about 5 other characters. I'm also the system voice. I'm the system voice in a game called Anmiyaji, which is from China, I think. And like I said, Shadowverse, I've worked on that, doing some more work on that. And it's fun because for me, I don't work on those really. I haven't yet really. I worked on some real serious game. Oh, I know I was in Silent Hill 2 because they had this main character. I was the main character as a kid,
Hmm.
I think. But most of it's not that dramatic. A lot of times they're funny or they're voice matching, like Blade and Soul. I never know what I'm going to do. She'll call me to come in. There's a mobile app, too. It's like 2 different companies. Now, one's doing the mobile app. One's the regular online one with NCSoft, I think. But I never know. She'll say, can you come in Thursday at 3 o'clock? Okay. So I go and so give me a script with like 5, 6, 7, 8 different characters. And some are my regular ones that I know. And then just other ones you try to voice match, match their performance because they're done in Korean. And, so it's always fun because you never know what you're going to do. Shadowverse are very extreme kind of funny characters. So I have the freedom to create like, oh, this one's an elf and it's very mischievous. Okay, what do you think about this voice? Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's fine. Let's do that. You see, you have to come up with all these different voices on the fly, which is what's the most fun. Yeah.
Nice. So now in the radio world, of course, as you mentioned, you're also best known for voicing Connie Kendall in Adventures in Odyssey. Could you kind of, for those who don't know what Adventures in Odyssey is, could you kind of describe like what it's about?
Well, it's a faith-based radio drama. They call it audio drama, but it's not always dramatic. There's some things, there's all kinds of genres are included in it. The running theme is it's based in the town of Odyssey and at a soda shop, Wits End, it's called, owned by a guy named John Avery Whitaker. And my character, when I first came on the show 37 years ago, was 15 years old and got a job at the soda shop. and it's just he's an inventor. It deals with family issues. Sometimes it'll deal with some political issues, but it's usually a lot of extremely good writing and story plots that make you think. Sometimes they go in this thing called the Imagination Station, where they'll go back in history, so you get to learn about historical stuff. Yeah, so what I was saying is we used to call it an audio drama or a radio show, but now as things have evolved over the past 40 years, it's what you would now call a scripted podcast. And they have an app where you can hear all the episodes, and they have bonus stuff. But yeah, so a lot of people have really gotten into the radio theater, audio drama realm. I do a lot of other audio dramas now, or scripted podcasts. I'm so used to calling it radio drama. I've worked on Jake Muller. I've worked on some other things. A lot. Adventum, Lamplighter Theater, which is out of New York. So there's a lot of opportunity for people to work on audio dramas these days. Also, I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what you're looking at there, Chris, but on Audible Books, they have a series, Goofus and Gallant, based on the Highlights magazine characters. And I play Goofus in that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So another, auditory thing, which I really like. That's my favorite thing. That's my world is audio. So, I love the theater of the mind. I don't care if it's animated. I like
Love that. That's nice.
That's
Yeah.
great. I just want to say, just as like kind of like a I mean not really a deep cut in a sense, but it's one of the things we actually didn't get to talk about because I just got like literally a minute ago. I saw that you actually got to voice some characters for a PBS series. Oh Noah.
Oh yeah, that's online to teach
Yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah, that was a web show. Yeah, I
That's
remember
good.
that. I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was the grandma, and also his little sister.
Right.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I spoke Spanish.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at that. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, we
Yeah, me
had a-
too.
Wow. Wow, I
We
forgot
had
about
we
that,
had a
Jake.
coach for that. I thought when
Very
you
welcome, guys.
when you said deep dive, what was I thinking you were gonna ask me? Something else that would be a deep dive. Oh, Teddy Ruxpin. Do you remember Teddy Ruxpin?
Yeah, of course.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. Oh
yeah.
yes. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So the people who did the animatronics for Dumbo Circus and Pooh Corner helped create Teddy Ruxpin, and I got to be Princess Eruzia.
Oh
on the
wow, I had no idea
cassette.
about
That's
that.
cool.
Wow.
And
Huh.
we had a special, I think, a live action type Teddy Ruxpin special.
Nice.
Ah.
And
Interesting.
I have
That's
I have
cool.
my own show called Tell You Later. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
Will Ryan and I started it a few years ago on YouTube, and unfortunately he passed away, but he was Grubby in the Teddy Ruxpin series, and
Oh,
we worked on
nice.
Dumbo's Circus, we worked on the Gummi Bears together, we worked on Adventures in Odyssey together, we worked on a lot of things together.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
as a matter of fact, then we put together a little book, Adventures
Oh,
in
nice.
Odyssey.
Oh wow,
Ooh.
that's awesome.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's cool.
and it's written. I don't know if you can see it, like in dialogue form of him and I talking to each other.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
I see
really
that.
fun.
I
Nice.
love that.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. If you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website and get a copy, and I'll send it to you autographed. But it's a lot of fun. People who enjoy watching or listening to Adventures in Odyssey, they like reading, pretending like they're us. And Will would say, well, it's to prove once and for all that we're nothing like the characters we play on Adventures in Odyssey, which wasn't true at all. We were very much like our characters. It was kind of. And this picture to show you how prophetic this crazy thing is, how we found ourselves in the studio. Let me see if I can get that on there right.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, when we were
Yeah.
friends, this is when we were working on Dumbo's Circus, I think, before Odyssey. And I
Ooh,
asked him to take
okay.
a picture with me because I wanted to do on-camera work. I thought I was going to try. So we posed, and where does it look like we are?
Like at a diner.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it, yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
soda shop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
and what did I
some, like,
tell you?
outside
Wits End
thing.
is a soda shop where Connie goes to work, and Will played Eugene, a character who always wore vests.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we took this picture before that show was ever created.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's
Isn't that
awesome.
crazy?
Huh.
And we look
Yeah.
like our
Oh, yeah.
characters. So I said, Will, I found the picture. I said, Will, look, we look like Connie and Eugene. Before Connie and Eugene existed. I go, we gotta send this to Focus on the Family. He goes, no, save it for our book. I said, what book? He said, we'll write one. And that's where the book came from, the picture.
There you go.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Wow.
That's great.
And that's how we creatives do things, kind of tushy backwards,
Hmm.
Exactly. Yeah.
sideways.
That's
Right.
wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we're getting close to wrapping up here, could you share any projects you're currently working on? At least you are allowed to talk about.
Yeah, so I told you about Lily's Lab.
Mm-hmm.
I cast and helped direct a show called A Few Good Miles that's in a process right now. And another, well, I don't know if I can talk about that. I hope it, with a great director, producer, Mark Risley, I got to do about, I'll just tell you, it's sort of like about EMTs and safety, kids and
Oh, okay.
Ah, nice.
so we recorded
Okay.
all that. There's a newer show, I don't know, like preschool show called Shimajiro. We've already recorded it, but it was a dub from Japan, a real cute preschool show. What else? We just, what am I working on? I forget. Well, tomorrow is another video game, another iteration of Shadowverse.
Cool.
And I don't know after that, guys. Butch Hartman has been doing some cartoon development.
Yeah.
And I just noticed, okay, so he has a show called The Garden Cartoon. And I'm not a regular, but I did a few voices on there. And then he's got a few shows he's pitching that I got to record, some characters. But then I just noticed he posted the Garden Cartoon's going to be a feature-length version of the Garden Cartoon. I know I'm in that, so it should come out pretty soon on streaming. And I'll have I think I'm a goat and a sheep in it. Yeah,
That's great.
and golly, I don't know. We just did this big event in Colorado, so that took like all my brain power. We had about 6,000 people come out. We did 2 live shows.
Oh, nice.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
It was a big deal. Yeah, I can't. There's probably something, but I can't think what it is. So there you go.
No worries at all. I'm looking forward for more later on.
Thank
Yes.
When
you.
it's coming up.
You guys are so sweet. You seem too young to be interested in my stuff.
Well, thank you very much, Katie. It means a lot.
That does mean a lot. So the last question that Jake's about to ask is the question we ask all of our guests at the end. Go ahead, Jake.
Thank you, Chris. So, of course, this podcast is called Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. When you think of nostalgia, what do you think of? In your own words, how would you define the word nostalgia?
Nostalgia is things you remember from growing up that give you a good feeling.
Love
That's
that. Great
great.
words.
Thank you
And,
very
um,
much.
Lovely.
well, Katie, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Glad we were finally able to make it
I
happen.
hope
Yes,
that I did what you
yes.
wanted me to.
No worries, it did.
Certainly did, and then some.
Yes, and to all of our viewers and listeners,
Pretty
thank
much,
you
Kate.
for tuning in to another wonderful episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. Absolutely enjoyed our time with Katie Leigh. Keep on the
Thank
lookout
you,
for more
thank you very much,
wonderful.
Katie.
Yes,
And
keep on the
her
lookout.
Oh
website and
yeah,
socials.
go to my
And,
website. Look at my
yes,
stuff.
her
Watch
her
Tell You
websites
Later.
and
All that
socials
stuff.
and her book and all that. It will be in the description down below, so y'all can check all those out.
Yes,
All
Please do.
right.
Please do.
yes, and as always, what do we say, Jake?
Keep nostalgia alive. Take care, everyone. See you next time. Take care. Bye.
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 Thank you for tuning in to another wonderful Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show episode. Be sure to follow Jake and the Happy Nostalgia team on social media, check out our website, and stream the show wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And as always, remember to keep nostalgia alive. Bye-bye.